Here we go, race fans. Stanley King here. Wild Bunch Motocross put on Mercury Rising, north of Las Vegas. There goes the expert line. Man, these guys were moving out. I was getting pelted by rocks right there. There goes my buddy Scott Moses. That dude just showered me with rocks. Crazy. Here comes the intermediate line. About 120 riders showed up for this event out in the middle of the desert. This is way up by Area 51. Everybody was cooking, and this is a fantastic course put together. And here comes the novice line. So the experts and the intermediates, they have to go around two 36-mile loops out in the desert. The novices only have to go around once. I'll tell you though, one time around this loop, pretty stout. Rocks, sand, deep canyons, lava. Look at this. This is one of the expert riders going by. Incredible. If you want to sign up for this series, go to racemran.com. There's my buddy Scott Moses. He did really well in this race as well. He did 2 laps, made good time. But as you can see here, it's this high-speed, sandy washes. But they have these crazy rocks sticking out. And you go through these lava channels. This ride is no joke. That kid right there, he's number 1, and that was actually an 85. I think it was I don't know if it was a big wheel bike or what it was, but so this race was a little different for me today. I had to ride sweep on this one. So normally I'd be riding the entire race, but since I'm part of the Wild Bunch motocross group, it's interesting the way it works here in Nevada. When you're part of the Motorcycle Racing Association in Nevada, each club puts on a race. So that means they go out and they mark the course, they ribbon it out, they take care of everything during the day of the race. Well, a lot of it. MRAN does quite a bit too. But it's all volunteer force that puts on these races. So this one in Mercury was put on by Wild Bunch, and then Dark Side, for example, will put on another ride. But each club prides themselves on putting together an outstanding track. And these are stout loops. They're no joke. This day it was probably 50 degrees was the high, and the wind on the top of the ridge lines was at times 60, 70 miles an hour. It was pushing people over. It was crazy. And this right here, man, this was a long downhill. I know the GoPro doesn't show it, but I looked down and I was like, that's got to be 1,500 feet down. It was crazy. It just kept rolling and rolling. I was able to get in this little section here, this lava chute. This was cool. This is a pretty difficult section. It's neat to watch all the guys go by. I got quite a bit of footage out of there. But so anyway, all the riders took off, and then my buddy Trigger and myself, since we were riding sweep with Dirty, we'd come up on people who'd either broken down and needed to ride out, or needed help because they were just tipped over, or just out of energy, having to come to Jesus moment. Maybe they had found Jesus, whatever. These are the younger guys right here too. That guy on the Kawasaki in the back, he's really pushing that other guy, but he's in second place. So, man, those kids are doing great. In the morning they did a 10-mile race for the younger guys on the 85s. They had them go 1 hour. This one kid went by, I think he went by 4 times. I was blown away by how fast he was going. He could have easily competed with the big guys. And then they did a couple pee-wee races, which I helped out with. The kids would go around, they fell over, you kind of pick them up. Then at noon, the big bike race started. And the last person left the line at probably 12:10, just after noon, and they came in about 4 hours later. So that was a long time to be out on the course. But again, look at it. This is the race course right here. Since I was able to do sweep, my buddy Trigger and I, we just followed through, just kept looking for people wherever they were, and there really weren't that many. It's amazing the level of riders here in Nevada. I know they come in from California and Utah as well, but MRAN always attracts a really good crowd. Everybody's very competitive, solid riders, definitely people who, for the most part, can take care of themselves really, really well. And they also know that different motorcycle clubs have their back in case, you know, something happens, whatever. They have a mechanical or, you know, they have an accident or whatever. But this is pretty much the only high-speed road that I can remember on the entire track. This power line road, it only lasted about a mile. The rest of it was a mix between this, going through the lava chutes right there, and here's one of the riders, my buddy Trigger there. He had to bring that girl up the track, and then he tipped over there in the lava chute. But yeah, it was a lot of single track, going through washes, and just really, I don't want to call it super high speed. There's that girl he's got to bring up the trail. It's funny. I couldn't believe he did that, but I know she was pretty happy to, you know, have a little help along the way. That was a tough gal. She's out of Pahrump, and man, she was going to finish the race no matter what. She did it. This section right here, this is a long uphill, and the wind was just cruising across the course right here. So not only was it rocky and steep, I mean, this was pretty steep, but the wind was just coming in 50, 60 miles an hour and just slamming you. And this too, going up this wash here, you're going right into the wind. The wind's, there's no trees to stop the wind here in Nevada.
There we go.
So it was a pretty cool event. Really cool, actually. So again, you know, if you want to race, join. You can definitely, you don't have to belong to a motorcycle club, but you're encouraged to do it so you can help with, you know, a race or two along the season. Most of the time you get to race all the races, and you know, if you want to sign up for one, go to MRAN, MRAN.com. Coach and his whole crew, they do a really good job keeping these events going. And I mean, look at these views. It's just the tracks they put together. It's like a organized single track ride where some, not all of the obstacles are marked, but you definitely know where you're going, and there's people out there who will help you if you do have a big problem. You definitely need to be an efficient rider. I wouldn't recommend this kind of racing for anybody who hasn't been on the bike for a couple of years and is in good shape. It's you know, sometimes these races really can tear people up. You know, they have to pull out just because it's just too much for them and stuff. Because it's you know, those big hills and lots of rocks and lots of sand. There's that gal again. She was going to finish this race. That's Erica. And I got to hand it to her. She did it. She was on a Beta 300. All right, guys. Well, if you like this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel. There are the little kids right there. Isn't that crazy? Look at these guys. They're on 65 right here. They're trucking. Wait till you see this little guy here at the end. He's just amazing. Check out this dude.
Yeah.
I don't think he's more than 5 years old. All right, guys. We'll see you out on the trail, and hopefully we see you at the next MRAN race. That'd be cool. Take it easy.